Are you overwhelmed by the thought of potty training your toddler, which is why you may have not started yet? Or have you tried and then given up? Well, you're in luck. This video might just be what you've been looking for. Hey there, I'm Ruthie and welcome back to my channel. Just like you, I was pretty overwhelmed by the thought of potty training my toddler that I really just kept pushing it off or thinking someone else would take care of it, when the reality is I still had to do the hard work. Anyway, she is now 3 years old and basically fully potty trained. She does still sleep in a pull-up diaper for naps at nighttime, but most of the time that pull-up diaper is actually dry. It's more of kind of a security, and we will probably get her fully off of that here shortly. But in general, throughout the day, I would say she's fully potty trained for several months now. I felt like there were so many books out there, so many philosophies, and it made the task seem very daunting, when in reality, it's really not that bad. So I'm here to tell you that it does get better on the other side and to give you my top best tips to help you through the process. My first tip is just to make sure your kid is ready. This is a pretty common tip that you hear everywhere, and I feel like most places they say you should start looking for that around 2. In reality, my experiences, my daughter wasn't ready until 2.5. Really, I did try at 2 and I kind of felt like I was forcing it. She actually got very scared of the potty and all of it, and it kind of backfired. So I paused for a few months and then started again. Look for signs that show that your child is ready. The main one was my daughter just started noticing that her diaper was full, whether it was wet or she had pooed in it. Caution, this video will probably have a lot of words like pee and poo, and she would let us know she was uncomfortable wearing a dirty diaper. And that was kind of the first key. She really wanted it changed right away, or she started to pull it off. The other one is really, she started being curious. She started noticing that my husband or I would go to the bathroom. She asked us about it. She wanted to come along with us. So that was another one. And the third is really when your child starts to look for privacy. Before, your child can really go whenever they need to. Now you will notice that maybe your child goes in the corner or prefers to do it in their room while they're napping. They're starting to desire privacy and wanting to do it in a separate space. And if you feel like you thought they were ready and you started and it's backfired, it's okay to pause and start again a few months later. Next tip is to make sure you are ready. Potty training is a commitment. When you are in the thick of it, you are in the thick of it. Understanding that it'll be difficult to be away from your home for long periods of time. I decided to potty train when my mom came into town, which was the best idea ever. If you can get your mother or your mother-in-law or another person to come help you, that is amazing, because one adult needs to be fully focused on your child at all time. I mean, all time. You can look at it as a very positive opportunity for you to spend quality time with your child. You also want to make sure you're not doing this whenever there's going to be other big changes in their life. We knew that we wanted to upgrade Ellie to a big girl bed, but we wanted to make sure she was fully potty trained before we upgraded her to her big girl bed, so she didn't feel like there were multiple changes. My kids are 2 years apart, and so I wanted to make sure that I don't start potty training around the time that I'm introducing a baby brother. So just kind of be cautious of what's going on in your life and make sure that this is a time when there's no other changes for your child. Tip number 3 is get your child excited for this. The first time I tried to potty train Ellie, I didn't do this step, and I really feel like incorporating into the second time made a big difference. And so what I did is I went on Amazon or Target and let her pick out underwear. Ellie actually picked out a set of Frozen and Trolls, and so she was really excited to wear her Trolls underwear or her Frozen underwear. And then I also just let my daughter pick out which underwear she wants to wear every single day. So this also, again, gets her really excited, gets her ready to take off that diaper and put on her new underwear. There's lots of different potty training books, so I would recommend getting one of these and just starting to read and getting them really excited about what's coming. I got Ellie this potty superhero book that we actually started reading a little bit before we started potty training. My next one is get rid of those diapers. No, what I mean is have your child actually give these diapers to someone else. So for me, I had a younger baby, and so my daughter was able to give her diapers to her baby brother, and then she knew, well, that's for baby brother. If you don't have another baby, you can go donate it or whatever you might do, but get them involved in actually giving away their last diaper. diapers. Tip number 5 is to create a convenient space. So I have a 2-story house, and so I actually set up a bathroom area on our first floor and our second floor so we weren't running up and down. Now this part might be a little controversial, but I absolutely hate the little potties. I think it's disgusting to have to clean them. I don't really like how they look, and I think then you have an extra step of teaching your child to go on a regular bathroom. So what I did instead is I got those seats on top of each of the bathrooms and a little step stool, and it worked out perfectly. Ellie absolutely loves it. All she does is go into our bathroom, she finds her seat, she puts it on top of the toilet, she takes the step stool, puts it, moves it if she needs to, steps up, and she's good to go. I also recommend these extenders. It just helps the water get closer so your kids can wash their hands. And don't disregard foam soap. I feel like foam soap is meant for little kids. It just helps them wash their hands way better than other soap. My next one is stock up, because accidents do happen and they're totally normal and they will happen. So get whatever cleaning products you like and just have a little bit extra. And then I also did get a few small gifts. Now, speaking of rewards, I know a lot of people use a reward system. I don't really use per se a chart with stickers or something like that. When we were just starting the first few days, we would give her a small piece of candy whenever she did potty on the toilet, but we really dropped that very quickly. Now, her first few days when she didn't have an accident, we did give her a small gift, but I didn't want it to feel like every time she went to the bathroom she would get a gift. And so I just kind of made the potty training experience more where I would give her small gifts that she was excited about versus like literally every time. I didn't want her to associate going to the bathroom with getting a present. Now that we have covered how to get ready, both for you and your child, and all the items, let's actually talk about what you're gonna do. I did read the Oh Crap book and there were things that I learned from there, but for how I actually potty trained, I used more of a schedule system. What I did the first 3 to 5 days is I literally made Ellie go and use the potty every 15 minutes. So every 15 minutes, we would go over and we would try to have her sit and just use the bathroom. The goal was just to sit down. Even if she just sat down for a few seconds and then got up, that was perfectly fine, but we would just try to go. I felt like back then it was harder to tell that she needed to go versus now that she's fully potty trained, I can easily tell. And so we just did every 15 minutes for the first few days. Once we were in a place where there was no accident for 2 days, then we switched to every half an hour. And then from there we went to every hour. And then we switched to a general schedule, which I'm pretty sure is what she follows now. Basically, anytime she wakes up from a sleep or goes to sleep, we ask her to go. Before a meal, as well as anytime we leave the house, we ask her to go as well. And this is just kind of what we've done. Honestly, now she just tells us when she needs to go. We rarely ask her, but if we are leaving the house, we will still double check with her. And that's really how we applied the schedule. We just stuck to it. We just kept doing it. Now, I will say one of the things that I picked up from Oh Crap was like the limited quantity of clothing. And so for the first kind of week, I would say, we actually just used pants instead of pants and underwear. That way it was easy for her to pull it on or off, and it was like less stuff to deal with. Once we were more confident and we were getting better at it, and I think more closer to the hour mark, then we started putting underwear under her pants. Tip number 8 is stick to specific words. So you've heard me reference potty, you've heard me reference pee and poo, and those were the words that we've chosen in our house. And so you want to stay consistent. You always want to use those words so your child learns. Around 2 is really when they're starting to develop a lot of language, and so making sure you use the same words kind of helps them understand what you're referring to. So whatever you choose, just stick with it. What are the words that you use in your house? Let me know in the comments below. I'm really curious. Tip number 9 is number 2 will take some time. It's very common and frequent for children to take longer to go number 2 on the toilet than pee on the toilet, and I think that is totally normal. I think just stay consistent. The main things that helped us get Ellie to poo on the toilet is to be cautious of when she typically goes number 2 and make sure we try to get her to use the bathroom at that time. She typically does very morning, like the first thing when she wakes up and right before bed. My husband, being the tech savvy guy that that he is. He set up an alert notification. So basically when Ellie turns on her light in her room, and she usually does this in the morning when she wakes up or when she's in bed but needs to go to the bathroom, she will turn it on and we will immediately get notifications. And we do try to go to her fairly quickly so that she can use the bathroom. And I would say the days that we maybe take a little longer, she may leave a surprise in her diaper, but other days she goes to the bathroom no problem. The other thing is Ellie loves to read. So what I started doing is giving her a book and having her sit there by herself reading the book, and then this way she's distracted, she ends up sitting longer, and most of the time she does end up pooing. And my last tip is celebrate every step of the way. We would really cheer and congratulate and tell Ellie she's doing a great job every time she went to the bathroom, every time she actually peed or pooed in the bathroom, and we just really encouraged her all along the way. She now, every time she uses the bathroom, goes, "Good job, Ellie," and feels very proud of herself. Also, celebrate without your child. You did it. You potty trained your child, which is a huge task, but also a huge milestone. You will see now the freedom that your child has, the freedom that you have, maybe the freedom your wallet has because you don't have to buy all those diapers. So go ahead, relax, have a glass of wine and enjoy because you have deserved it. So those are my top 10 tips on how to get your child potty trained. Keep in mind is regressions do happen. If your child randomly has an accident later on, that's okay. Just kind of keep continuing. Anyway, I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing so you don't miss any further videos just like this one. And I will see you at my next one. Bye.